Well, everyone, it's finally time for us to do this video. It is my top 10 anime so far. Let's get I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just get right into it though. So, I've been wanting to do this video for, wait a minute. Alright, there we go. I just realized my mic wasn't even plugged in. So, why are we here? What's happening? Well, if you saw the title, ow, I hurt my knee. We're going to be doing my personal top 10 anime and just talking about it. Now, the thing is, when it comes to being a part of the anime community, having an opinion is illegal. So, remember, just because your favorite anime isn't here, doesn't mean I hate it, unless it is an anime that I do dislike. Doesn't mean I dislike you, though. So, to the people who are, like mega weebs, I watched a lot of anime. I don't really remember most that I watch. So, that's why my list is it's mostly mainstream anime, because I barely remember what I've watched. I watched a lot of anime, though. And I'm not just saying I've watched 6 anime. I'm pretty much a veteran. No, I've watched a lot of anime throughout my lifeu, and that's pretty much it. I just want to say, I do know that there are a lot of anime that are 10 out of 10, that are worthy of being a 10 out of 10. It's just that I've never watched them. So, an example of that would be Fooly Cooly or Bakemonogatari. I've never watched them, or the Monogatari series. I don't really know. But I've heard so many things about that. So just saying, don't expect those to be on this list. I don't know. And also, if just don't expect stuff like Dragon Ball to be on this list, because Dragon Ball, I find it overrated. If you like Dragon Ball, that's cool though, I'm just saying. So, yeah, I do have a lot of Dragon Ball stuff. That's super old though. I just keep it because it looks awesome. You gotta admit, I may not be the biggest Dragon Ball fan when it comes to the series, but when it comes to their merchandise and their video games, it's pretty good. So, before we get to the actual top 10 itself, I wrote down some honorable mentions. Usually honorable mentions are these anime could be first place, but I wanted to switch it up. These honorable mentions are anime that I feel like are probably near my top 10. By the way, before we start, my honorable mentions and my top 10, I'm not saying that they are all 10 out of 10 anime. I'm just saying there are a lot of 10 out of 10 anime that I haven't watched, and that's why they are not on this video. So first we got The Promise Neverland, because that's just a great anime, let's be honest. The soundtrack is great, the intros are amazing, the ending's really great, the plot is really good. But it's just that newest episode for season 2. Don't get me wrong, it was super good. But there were a few plot holes that was in the manga that they should have adapted into the anime. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what I just said right there. But what I meant to say was there were some plot holes that were in the first episode of season 2. And I feel like they tried to make a full volume into one episode, which made plot holes in the anime. There were no plot holes in the manga. I have no freaking idea why I said that. But, sometimes I'm just bad at explaining things. It was still a great episode, but it's little things like that. Next we got ReZero. As soon as I started watching ReZero, I instantly fell in love with the series. It was just super good, and that's pretty much it. Also, just my favorite character, Rem, is from the anime. I was like, yo, what anime is she from? And then when I started ReZero, I was like, yo, I know that character. Next, we got The Devil is a Part-Timer, or Devil is a Part-Timer. That was a hilarious anime. I'm just going to say it. That was one of my first anime ever, because I watched a bunch of Dragon Ball. Then I started Naruto. And then I started Devil is a Part-Timer, and I was like, hey, I like this. It's not just crazy fights, it's comedy. I like this. And that was one of the anime that actually got me into regular anime, not just buff dudes yelling at each other for 6 episodes. and then an explosion happens, and then nothing. It was all meaningless. So that was a great anime. I loved it. It's really short too. Next is Saiki K. Saiki K is another comedy anime that is just so hilarious, and Saiki is just he's such a strong character as well. Like he has hairpins that control his psychic powers, and like if one hairpin falls, he could accidentally destroy like half the planet without even realizing. That maybe that's an exaggeration. I haven't watched Saiki K in a long time, but it's just kind of funny how overpowered he is. But it's just for comedic purposes. It's not for like awesome mega fights. It's not stuff like that. So, our final honorable mention, this was the only ones I could think of, was Castlevania.
Tell it you're floating vampire Jesus here.
Got nothing but insults, have you?
Now, a lot of people like to hate on Netflix originals because it's from Netflix. When people don't realize that a lot of Netflix originals, or just like made by Netflix, are actually really good. Like Castlevania. Castlevania, I never played the games, but when I watched that first episode, sheesh. The dub is actually really good too. The dub and sub are both really good. I watched like both. I'd switch because I was bored and wanted to switch them. The animation was just so good, and that's pretty much it. It was really violent too. It was really gory, and I kind of like violent anime. I don't want to sound like I like violence, but like you know what I mean. It was super good though. If you like really action-packed fight scenes and stuff, Castlevania is definitely an anime that you should check out. So, let's just get right into this top 10. I just want to say that, again, I forgot most of the anime that I watched, and this was the only top 10 I could think of. So, this top 10 could change in a few hours, which is funny. I can never stay with a steady top 10. It always switches. But so far, this is the top 10 that I've got. So, numero 10, we've got A Silent Voice. A Silent Voice is a movie. It's not like an actual series, unless they already made a series that I didn't know of and then made a movie afterwards. But A Silent Voice was just a super good movie, and I remember first watching that, and that's when I was still only watching stuff like Naruto, and I realized, like, you know, anime can be a lot of things, and that was a really sad anime. I really love Silent Voice. I also watched Kimi no Nawa not long ago, and don't get me wrong, Your Name was a super good movie. I had goosebumps the entire time, but even though I feel like I almost preferred Your Name more than A Silent Voice, I kind of preferred A Silent Voice because it was more realistic. And that's why it's in my top 10. So far, anyway, before I switch it up again. And now for my number 9. Nico, if you're watching, yeah. You really made me love this anime a lot. It's Shidatsu wa Kimi no Uso. It's also known as Your Lie in April. Nico was begging me to watch that anime for a super long time, and it's good. I don't regret watching that. Shidatsu wa Kimi no Uso was just so good. It was so sad, but the visuals were just so well animated, and the plot was just really good too. The ending was good, but I feel like they could have done the ending a bit better. Not better, but like I feel like they could have changed it a little, and which would have made it better if you know what I mean. Next, for my number 8 spot, I have Full Metal Alchemist, the 2003 version. I think it was 2003. Anyways, the first one. Now, you're probably like, what? Brotherhood? Wow. Oh, first of all, I never said Brotherhood wasn't on this list. Second of all, I watched the original Full Metal Alchemist first, because I thought Brotherhood was a sequel. And while watching FMA, I loved it. Every single episode, I fell in love with every single episode. A lot of people hate on the original for no reason because the ending wasn't as good as Brotherhood or the manga. Full Metal Alchemist, it bugs me when people don't. Well, I said that very incorrectly. I meant to say I hate it when people don't like a non-happy ending just because it wasn't happy. Because when it comes to certain shows and anime, you have to expect a non-happy ending sometimes. Like Full Metal Alchemist. I wasn't a huge fan of the ending, but I still liked it because it was different than others. If you guys have watched the original, you know what I'm talking about. But for the people who have not watched the 2003 or whatever version, I'm not going to say it. But I really liked Full Metal Alchemist. And then when I heard Brotherhood was a thing, I was like, well, I know what I'm watching next. But yeah, the 2003 version was just super good, and I really recommend it for people who haven't seen it, because there were some things that I preferred in the original more than Brotherhood. So next, our number 7 spot we have. I hit my knee. For my number 7 spot, we've got Shablam! Death Note. Yeah, Death Note. I started it 4 years ago and just finished it like last month. Yeah, it took me a long time to finish Death Note, but wow, was that a great anime or what? If you've watched Death Note, like, Death Note is so good. I bet people who hate anime would probably enjoy Death Note because of the plot twists. The plot twists are so amazing. That's one thing I really love about anime. And with Death Note, their plot twists just went crazy. And the ending again, it's one of those endings where like people don't like it because it's not the happy ending. I kind of liked the ending of Death Note. It was pretty freaking. It made my mind think. I was like, sheesh, that I did not expect that. Even though I was already spoiled about it, so I did expect it. I didn't expect the way it happened. But still, Death Note, amazing anime, amazing manga too. I love the art style, the characters. The dub is also really good. Also, by the way, I'm gonna say if the dub and sub is good or not for both these anime. So, silent voice, sub, really good. The dub, it's mid. Shidatsu Latimi no Uso. The sub, great. The dub, I found the dub not that good. Full Metal Alchemist, the sub is alright. The dub is really good though. Death Note, sub and dub, I feel like it's equal, but there were a lot of moments that I preferred in dub. So, next, for number 6, we've got JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I love JoJo so much. And a lot of people like to hate on Phantom Blood because there were no stands. I loved Phantom Blood. Even though it was super short, I loved part 1 so much. It was so good. And the thing with JoJo is that it's never like the same, kind of. It's always something new. And I love that about I love that about JoJo. Also, when I started reading the manga, that was just super cool too. But even though we're talking about anime, but the anime for JoJo is just so good. Every fight scene is really well animated. Every character, like 99% of the characters are lovable. Except for a few. Yeah. And pretty much every protagonist so far is amazing. Except Dappy. I don't really like Dappy. I don't know. Even though I'm not at part 8, I'm just not a fan of Dappy. But in the anime, every protagonist is good so far. I hope that part 6 gets animated this year. If not, I'm gonna be mad. Because part 6 was really good. But yeah, JoJo at number 6, because I loved JoJo so much. I don't really know what to say. I just loved JoJo. I love the art styles. I loved the art styles. I love the characters. The voice acting was superb. The voice acting was extremely superb, and I enjoyed it very much. But yeah, JoJo, I love it. That's all I gotta say, really. Now, guys, we are entering my. Okay, I want to stand up straight. This is like. There we go. Well, now, guys, we are entering my top 5 anime so far. I don't want to say forever, because first of all, I'm gonna watch more anime. Let's be honest, and it always shifts. Sword Art Online to be my favorite. No, I'm kidding. I'm not a fan of Sword Art Online. And by the way, I hated it before it was a trend. I swear. I just didn't enjoy it after the season 1. But anyways, number 5. All right, boys. I was gonna say something clever, but I forgot. Man, that's so annoying. Okay, well, boys, it's time to set sail on the nice sea. It's called One Piece. One Piece is number 5 because I don't know what to say, man. One Piece is just one of those anime that got me hooked. I love One Piece so much, and a lot of people complain that it's so boring. Why would you sit and watch this same thing for 900 episodes? The thing with One Piece is that every arc is different, and it's not the same. It's always something new to hit you with. And that's what I really like about One Piece. Also, a lot of people hate on One Piece until the time skip. I'm really enjoying all the stuff before the time skip, even though I've gotten spoiled so much that I could skip to the Wano arc. And trust me, I've got a friend who is literally in love with One Piece and is up to date. And I've told him all the spoilers, at least the majority of the spoilers I got. And he's like, "Dang, with all those spoilers, you could go up to Wano." And I was like, "Sheesh." And he's like, "Well, how does that not ruin your experience?" Because One Piece is fire. And listen, if you have watched Naruto Shippuden and you're like, "Oh, I'm not watching One Piece, it's too long," you watched Naruto Shippuden. So what if you skip the filler? Actually, let's look up how many episodes does Naruto have without the filler. Well, some crazy stuff just happened off camera. Everything collapsed. So the camera's back up here, but right here it says that in the original Naruto there are 89 filler episodes in total of 220, which means 40% of Naruto is filler. And in Shippuden, which is about 500 episodes, 210 are filler. Now, if I'm correct, 131 plus 290 equals 421. And at episode 422, that is the Impel Down arc in One Piece. Now, that isn't all the way up to Wano, but that's almost to the time skip. The time skip is about 500 and something, and we're not even counting the One Piece fillers. And One Piece has a good amount of fillers at the beginning, so that's all I'm gonna say. That's still a lot of non-filler episodes. I'm just saying, also, if you watch Dragon Ball, which is like 300 episodes, I don't really know how much fillers in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, though, so, yeah. Where am I? Oh, yeah. Also, the transformations in One Piece are super cool. I mean, they're not the coolest looking, besides Snake Man, but, and it's got some of the best characters in the world, like Traffic Man Law. You've got Zanro. You've got... I'll put a picture of him up on the screen. Oh, yeah, Ace. Wow, how did I forget that? But we don't talk about this guy. I don't like this guy at all. He's just kind of there to replace Ace, which isn't fun. But yeah, One Piece, really good. You should definitely check it out if you have a lot of free time, or just a little bit of free time to at least start it, But before we get to the number 4 spot, we gotta talk about the strongest pirate in all of One Piece history. And we even have the dude I talked about, the One Piece lover. I have some voice clips of him explaining about why Buggy is the strongest pirate ever. Okay? And I didn't just record this without him knowing. I asked for his permission. I asked if he could send me some clips. He's like, yeah, sure. And I just want to say, Buddy, he did defeat all the 7 warlords. He did defeat Kaido, Big Mamu. He did defeat Snake Man Luffy. He did defeat the freaking admirals or whatever. He did beat Goku.
Not to Buggy, he's not, because Buggy would just roll right over him, And Buggy's just too strong for him, and he was also on Goldie Rogers. He was on his squad of pro leaguers, Kind of, you just can't beat that, that's what I'm trying to get to, it is a little, the something know me, I forget, but whatever.
Wow, Dally, that was some good info on how Buddy is the best pirate in the world. Thank you for the very detailed information. Number 4, it's playing behind me. It's Mob Psycho 100. Mob Psycho 100 is one of my favorite... Okay, obvious, that's... I'm just going to cut this short. There's nothing much to say. Mob Psycho is just the better One Punch Man. The animation goes crazy. The voice acting is super good for dub and sub. And it's just got a really relatable main character. And he's just super funny. And it's so crazy how powerful he is. And the way he uses his powers. It's an amazing show. It's got everything that I love. Comedy, action, slice of life. It's got all that great stuff. So now, we are entering my top 3 anime. Are you ready for this? I'm not, because I feel like I'm about to get judged really quickly. Oh no. So at our number 3 spot, at my number 3 spot, I have Sword Art Online 2. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't have Sword Art Online. My third favorite anime is Attack on Titan. I'm gonna cut this one short too. I like to, make conversation super long when it comes to videos accidentally. The thing with Attack on Titan is every single season brings just some of the craziest fight scenes and some of the biggest plot twists. Parts of season 1 were kind of slow, but it's just the further you progress, the better it gets, and that's what I love about this show. The fight scenes are incredible, and season 4 so far is freaking amazing. So yeah. Plot. I love how the plot takes a really crazy twist from thinking they're just gonna fight Titans and he's gonna avenge his mom. And then you're on season 4 and you're like, it's not just about killing Titans and avenging his mom. Now, number 2. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I told you that it was gonna be here. I told you. It's got some of the best fights that I've ever seen, and one of my favorite villains, Father. It's just such a good anime. I don't even know what to say, my guy. It's so good. But now, everybody, it's my number 1 spot. Now, I feel like I'm going to get judged for this because a lot of people really don't like this anime. Alright, guys. My number 1 spot, my favorite anime of all time, is Fairy Tail. No, I'm kidding. It's Boruto. Boruto is just such an amazing... No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. It's obvious that my favorite anime is Kateguri. No, I'm joking again. My favorite anime is Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. It's just such an amazing show, and it's one of those things where you expect this to happen. By what you've seen in the first episode, you expect this to happen. But then Gurren Lagann says, nope. And you end up seeing the main character grabbing universes with his hand and throwing them. They're like playing snowball fighting. It's like a snowball fight with freaking galaxies. And listen. Goku Tard. Listen close. Simone from Gurren Lagann. He crushes Goku. All I have to say. If you've seen Gurren Lagann, you know why he destroys Goku. It's pretty simple. This is Goku. This is Goku right here. And this is Simone. And this is an understatement for Simone. It's a crazy anime. The animation is also amazing. It's kind of close to this. It's just maybe not that crazy. God of High School's anime was really well for animation, but so was Gurren Lagann. That animation was amazing. It was spectacular, and it's my favorite anime so far. It's just got the plot. It can get you super hyped and then make you super sad, or you just feel depressed, and then it can smack you with another universe and you get even happier, and then another death happens and you're like, and it's got maybe not one of my favorite endings of all time. But I really love the way each character changes throughout the anime. Like, the character development is super good. The time skip, that was a good time skip. I really liked it, and I really didn't expect it. But it's so good. But yeah, this has been my top 10 anime with some honorable mentions. The honorable mentions are anime that could maybe be in my top 10. But I love all these animes so much. I may not have all of their manga, but one day I'm going to try. Like I said, that's it for this video. If you guys want to share your top 10 anime, or just top 5, top 3, or your favorite anime down below, go ahead. Also, if you have some suggestions for anime type videos, please feel free to throw them in the comments like Simone did with the galaxy. That's it for me, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.